the potato meal. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, then you know that I am obsessed with potatoes. They are so delicious, and as you all know, I have a nickname from my granddad called the mother of potato, because every time my grandfather used to come, he used to ask my mum used to ask him, what should we make today? And I would always say batata. So today I thought I'd share with you the recipe that have gave me the nickname of mother of potatoes. This is a super easy, super delicious recipe, and oh my god, is it delicious! The way that crisp potatoes go so beautifully with that garlic and that lemon and the rice and the broth. It is absolutely to die for, and it's one of those meals that if I'm feeling really low and sad and feeling like I need a hug, then that is the recipe for me, because it genuinely feels like a hug in a bowl. This recipe is super easy, again, as all of our stews are. All you need to do is crisp the veg in the oven and then whack it in with everything else, and then you've got a lovely, tasty, delicious dinner right there for you. So if you're feeling uninspired and you don't know what to eat and you love potatoes, then this is the recipe for you, because it is delicious and the potatoes go like such a dream with everything else. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, then please hit the button down below, because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned. So first we want to start with chopping the potatoes. You want to chop them into cubes. You want 3 big potatoes. The more potatoes the better, I think. You don't want the cubes to be too small, because you really do want to have those chunky potato bits. You want them to be all nice and crispy on the outside, then you want them to melt in your mouth when you bite into them. Alright, that'll do. Now you just want to put them in a baking tray and roast them in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes on gas mark number 5 or 200 degrees. Make sure you sprinkle them with oil and salt, of course, so you can give them that extra layer of crisp. Don't worry if they're not completely soft on the inside when you take them out, as we're still going to cook them. You just need them to have that nice layer of crisp on top. So now while our veg is cooking and baking, we're going to start prepping up for the other bits. So it's really not that complicated. You don't really need that much. All you need is garlic, chili, lemons and coriander. So let's get started with the garlic. So you want to do 2 cloves of garlic for the first stage. If any of you have watched my recipe for the cauliflower stew, this is very similar, and a lot of our stews have a very similar kind of basics. This stew is so lovely, so garlicky, it's so lemony, it's so potatoey, and it has a little bit of green, so we can make sure that we get some healthy stuff from this. So we want to peel the 2 cloves of garlic. Oh god, so this is for the first stage. So now we want to crush it. I always recommend you do it one at a time, and you add a good chunk of salt. Alright, that looks pretty good. And now we just want to chop really finely and then crush it along with the garlic. Half a chili, obviously depends how much you like it spicy. If you don't like it spicy at all, just add the tiniest bit. I don't like that much spice, and half is perfect for me. Just gives it that little extra kick which you kind of want. But otherwise, if you like a bit of spice, then add a whole one, or depending on your tolerance to it. Fun fact about potatoes, did you know that potatoes was one of the reasons that Europe went out of the Middle Ages? Isn't that crazy? I personally love everything to be crushed up, all the juices out, everything can really coat whatever we're making, rather than just get bits of garlic or bits of chili. Alright, that will do. So now we want to put the 2 cloves of garlic and the half a chili in a little bowl for when we need it. Alright, now that we're done with the first stage, let's get to the second stage. For this stage, we want to do, don't laugh at me, a whole head of garlic. As you all know, us Arabs, we love garlic, and we do usually tend to have about a whole head of garlic in most of our meals. So like for example, if you're doing stuffed cabbages or stuffed vine leaves or stuffed anything, you kind of layer the whole head of garlic. You don't crush them, you just leave them as holes in between the layers of the stuffed courgettes and vine leaves. So layer, which is what we make, what this is, as I said before, is so essential and so part of most of our stews, if not all. So what you do is usually you just before you're about to finish your meal, you fry a whole head of garlic with some coriander, and then you add it to the meal, and that makes all the difference. My God. هل أسمراني تعباني قلب خيوها وأكرماني يا أبو عيوني وسع حبوا أنا المرسى تعباني قلب خيوها وأكرماني وأكرماني. Right, now we want to crush them. As I said, if you don't have a crusher, just crush them. I mean, just chop them. Right, and now we want a big bunch of coriander. Right, you want to get rid of the stems. If there's little stems, that's fine. Let's just get rid of the main ones, the big boys. And then we just want to chop them real fine, real good. Right, and let's whack that in with the whole head of garlic, which I haven't whacked in yet, but we'll do that now. This meal is served with rice. If you guys want to learn how to make rice the Middle Eastern way, then check out, I've got the link in the description. Alright, and now all we need to do is squeeze the lemons. So you want 1 lemon to 1.5. Depends on how lemony you want it to be. لموني الناس غاروا مني وقالوا لي وش عجبك فيها. As I said before, I always think of this song when I'm squeezing lemons, because it says Lemony, which means blamed me, but it is the same word for lemony. لموني الناس غاروا مني وقالوا لي وش عجبك فيها. I'm going to squeeze both of the lemons because then I'll just adjust it, and if I have any lemons extra I can just put it in a jar in the fridge and then I can have it whenever I need a bit of lemon juice. Better than keeping the lemon in the fridge as it is, because you know how like the rim gets really crusty? No one wants that. No one wants a crusty lemon. Brilliant, and now we're done with the preparation. Let's put stuff together. You want to put it on a medium heat. And then you want to add some oil, whatever oil you want. Now we want to wait. As soon as the oil is heated up, we want to whack in the 2 cloves of garlic and the chili that we've already prepared. So just leave it for a minute in the pot to get a bit of colour, and then we want to add the potatoes on top. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's add the potatoes so they can get all coated in this lovely garlicky chili paste. Oh my god, that smells insane. And now we want to cover it up with boiled water. Just add as much as how saucy you want it to be. So this will do. I really love saucy stuff. Right, and put it on a lower heat. And now we want to add the lovely spices. So we want 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh God. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Oh, it's just one of those days when you're bashing into everything and falling and oh God. All right, so 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of allspice. And now let's mix them all together. Oh my God, that's smelling so delicious. So we don't want to put them in the water for too long because I find it that the crisp gets less crispy when you add it to water. I mean, obviously. So now let's do the layer. So let's move this to the smaller hob. This one you want to put it on high heat. Sprinkle some oil. I'm going to add a good chunk of black pepper because, as I always say, that's what helps us get the nutrients out of our food. Right, that oil looks heated up. And now let's add our layer bit. So you just want them to get nice golden brown colour. Right, that looks golden browny to me. So now let's put this pot back in here. Come on, mate. And add the layer. 5 minutes, and then we want to add the lemons and leave that for 2 minutes, and then we're done. Oh yeah, and then we just want to add the spinach. Last bit, we add the spinach with the lemons. Right, let's add the lovely spinach and the lemon juice. Alright, and now we just leave it for 2 minutes and it's ready. And we're all done. As we say in Arabic, صحتين وعافية. You can sprinkle it with some lemon juice at the end if it's not lemony enough, and of course garnish it with some coriander on top. You eat this stew with rice. Check out my rice video in the description below. I teach you how to make rice the Middle Eastern way. It just has a couple of more extra steps that really makes all the difference in that rice tasting so flavorful. Don't forget to tag me or send me a picture if you do attempt to make this or any of my other recipes, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned.